Am I sad about it? Yes. But do I also understand it? Yes. I'm going to try and involve Michael's own words here, so maybe it'll help people. Michael said that Neverland is him. He will never sell it. He loves it. It is the totality of who he is. He said that in 2001 during the Private Home Videos documentary. After the trial, Michael left Neverland never to return because it was scarred. It scarred who he was, and it scarred what he felt Neverland represented. He said, it is a house now, it is not a home. And he did actually sell it before he died. Colony Capital. They have been managing it since 2007. So Michael was still alive before he stopped managing it. It didn't happen when he died, so that it was totally unfair. Michael was alive when it happened. So anything that Michael could have done or anybody else could have done, Michael would have had some sort of say. And he was also okay with not being there anymore because, as far as he was concerned, what Neverland represented was no longer existing. It was destroyed because of the raid and the trial and the kids who betrayed him, etc. Additionally, Neverland is not sold yet. It's being sold. If you read the article, it doesn't actually have an owner right now. Colony Capital is managing it, but they haven't actually sold it to anybody yet. Whoever it gets sold to, we don't know who that is, but I hope that person respects it, and I hope they make it into something special, because, I mean, we have two possibilities here, and we'll go with the major ones. They can either destroy it, even tear it down and do something terrible, build something stupid there, like a condo building, or maybe they will try and represent it as what it really is. You know, I would love if they would turn it into a hospital for children. I would love if they would keep it as a museum for Michael Jackson. I would love it if it would just simply stay there as a landmark. That would be fantastic, and I'm sure even the estate would want that. But the estate stated that they don't have the money for it anymore. The other companies, they don't know what kind of money it will cost. Apparently, since he died, just to have it sit there for the past 5 years, cost them $50 million. Just to have the fucking place sit there for 5 years. Imagine how expensive Neverland is to keep running and just keep it fucking sitting there. And yeah, it is true. The estate doesn't have the money to deal with it. A lot of fans are like, well, why can't the estate just do it? The estate actually doesn't have that much money. They don't. And do you know why? Because of all the lawsuits. Not molestation. I mean, they have lawsuits about everything. The estate has dealt with so many lawsuits, it's unreal. Currently, they owe the IRS like $900 million. As far as the family goes, maybe they don't have say over it. But for the sake of argument, let's say that the family does have complete say over who buys it or if they can buy it. Then in that case, I don't know why they haven't bought it. But I'm gonna go with the latter here and assume that maybe that Catherine or whatever does not get to decide who buys it or who keeps it. But I do hope that the new owners take good care of it and they put it into some kind of a landmark that will symbolize MJ, even though he himself didn't consider it a symbol anymore. A museum, a hospital, something. A museum would be good, actually. They could just put some of his stuff back in there, you know, put ropes all around, people could walk through, pay $40 a pop to walk around, and there you go. I would do it. In fact, I don't know why the estate didn't do that, because they're worried about money, but yeah, if they made it into a museum, they could make money off of that. Maybe they don't feel that many fans would go and look at it? I don't know. I mean, think about it like that. A museum might be a bad idea because, you know, Neverland is hard to get to. It's up in the mountains. Additionally, once you walk around it once, you may not want to go back, or maybe too many people have been there and they wouldn't really consider it museum. Maybe putting all of his stuff back and redecorating it to be a museum would cost too much money. I don't know. I don't. All I can tell you is that Neverland was a beautiful home. It had beautiful memories, well, for the most part. It had lots of history.
And hello, 8 years later, 2014 to 2022. However, Neverland was sold 5 years later, towards the end of 2020. So, it ended up being sold to Ron Burkle, and that's actually a pretty good choice, as Ron Burkle was one of Michael's advisors and stuff. So that was a pretty good choice. It wasn't just some random lunatic billionaire. It was somebody who actually would do something with it. Now, why am I re-uploading this video and adding this new segment at the end? Well, to be honest, Moonwalking Kingdom made a video last week talking about Michael Jackson museum ideas, and I had remembered, oh shit, I actually had an idea about turning Neverland into a museum. Now, do I still stand by the idea I had in that video of turning it either into a museum or like a brought back theme park or a children's hospital? Yes, I still have that exact same idea. Ron Burkle doesn't have any immediate plans as to what he's going to do with it. He's currently in the process of restoring it. But in terms of what he's going to turn it into, there's been speculation, but nothing 100% yet. So, Michael Jackson's famed Neverland Ranch in California has finally sold more than 10 years after the death of the pop star. He abandoned the property following the trial and all that stuff. And as it says here, Ron Burkle, a former family friend of Jackson, recently bought the sprawling estate, and that was towards the end of 2020. The Wall Street Journal said the estate, which was renamed Sycamore Valley Ranch several years ago, sold for $22 million. According to public records, in 2015 the asking price was $100 million, and in 2017 it was brought down to $67 million. So it's not bad that Ron Burkle bought it. I thought that was actually pretty good. And this article gives a little bit of an update as to what's been going on since then and what he's doing with it. In a recent and rare interview with the Wall Street Journal, Ron Burkle finally talks about his latest purchase, the Neverland Ranch. The news agent had a private tour of the property, and it's revealed that the neighbors' cows are still permitted on the property. Burkle, 68, bought the property last year for $22 million, and rumors had it that he planned to turn the ranch into a private club destination, but Mr. Burkle maintains that he has a few grand plans beyond restoring the property and describes the deal as a land grab. It's just not a bad thing to have your money tied up in, he says. Burkle said that their relationship had little to do with the purchase, and he was curious about the ranch and the remains of the train tracks. The empty zoo enclosures. Michael Jackson hasn't lived there in over 15 years, he said, adding that he had fallen in love with the land and purchased the ranch from his friend Tom Barrick, an investor who heads Colony Capital, who was also actually co-owning it before Michael died, as I said in the original video. Ongoing construction at the ranch has fed speculation about whether Burkle may be interested in turning Neverland into a Soho house, but he said that isn't the case. He said his team is working on restoring parts of the ranch that were falling apart from neglect, such as replacing pipes. The train station, modeled after one of Disneyland, and which had been damaged by woodpeckers, is being restored, as is the Neverland Flower Clock. Many of the roads have also been upgraded. Mr. Burkle said he hopes that one day one of the trains may run again, which really shouldn't be that difficult. It was kind of a depressing place. It wasn't the beautiful place that it was before. It just needed flowers and life in it again. He hasn't talked about the fact that rides were put back within the property and what his intentions are for the future as the restorations are still ongoing. So that's what I'm saying, and it's basically what I said in the previous video, that we don't know what it's going to be, and we haven't known for over 10 years now. But what it should be, I think Ron is a good person, so I'm hoping and I think he'll do something proper, but a few of my ideas are very simple. Amusement park, museum, or hospital. And you know what else? The property was so large, he could actually potentially have all three of them there. Let me explain how. The house could potentially be the museum. The backyard could be like the amusement park zoo kind of thing, and all of like the guest houses, or just build a new house entirely, could be the hospital, the children's hospital. I think doing all three is possible, and I feel like if it was just one of those things, a lot of people wouldn't go there. Like, for example, remember, Michael Jackson's house was way up in the fucking mountains, okay? It's kind of far away for a hospital. It's like if anybody's in an ambulance dying, they're going to die before they get there. You know what I mean? And it's like, who wants to visit a museum that's that far away? Or an amusement park that's that far away? But if it's all three, it makes it a lot more enticing to actually drive up there. You know what I mean? The property also includes a 12,000 square foot Normandy-style mansion, guest houses, a swimming pool with a cabana, a basketball court, a tennis court, and a 50-seat movie theater. Mr. Gleason said the homes are in good condition. Oh, and you know what else, too? Because it's so far away, I have a fourth idea. It could also be a resort. You see, everything that I have currently said are things that you visit for a day and leave. You visit an amusement park for a day. You visit a zoo for a day. You go to a hospital. Well, that can be longer than a day, but you know what I mean. And the same thing with a museum. You go there for a day. But if they make it a resort, because keep in mind, there's already guest houses there, but if they include other things like just what you see at a resort, like hotel rooms and stuff, people would be a lot more willing to stay there. Basically, another Disneyland or Disney World, where people would stay for like 3, 4, 5 days or a week at a time. Again, making the big trip up the mountain a lot more worth it. So, anyway, I just wanted to talk about the update to this story, because I haven't done that in a long time, and I wanted to repost the video, so yeah, let me know what you guys think of my ideas.